Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are back. We are black. Welcome to the second and final day of this Juneteenth celebration hosted on GDQ. My name is TheBlacktastic. You can just call me Bobby. And we have still a whole bunch more runs, whole bunch more black excellence to spread around. Before we do that, though, let's keep y'all in the know about a whole bunch of things that GDQ's got going on. Like, I mean, y'all guessed it, Summer Games Done Quick is literally next week. So if you want more information on that, we got game schedules, prize submissions, etc. Go to gamesdonequick.com for more info. We also have Flame Fatales, which is coming out with their event Flame Fatales in late August. For more information on that, you can always type in !FF in chat. Go to gamesdonequick.com/Flame Fatales for more info. And I see a lot of people getting really hype and really excited by subscribing, by dropping their primes. And did you know that from now until July 15th, GDQ's revenue from subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, bitch cheered, minus taxes, will be donated by GDQ to Doctors Without Borders. So keep that hype going, and especially since we had a really bumpin' rhythm game block. I hope y'all can keep that energy, because we're gonna need it to speed through Mario Kart 8 Deluxe by Peas, returning for the second time this weekend. So Peas, are you ready? Let's go.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Peace SMB, and yesterday you saw me play some Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania with those crazy Sonic jumps, but I'm gonna be doing something even more crazy. So I know there's gonna be some people from the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe community who might know me, and if you know me really well, I actually don't use the best characters in the game. I actually use the slowest ones. So let's jump right on into versus mode here. But before I even say anything, I'd like to say hello to my my commentator, whom you just saw. Hey, Ness.
Hi, I like playing Lemmy Koopa in this game.
That's a massive hint as to which character I'm going to be using. So you can literally use any baby / lightweight character, but for preference, I'm going to be using Baby Daisy because she is the most popular in some of the tracks that you'll see in time trials. So this is going to be 150 retro tracks with no items, since we want to focus more on the lines as opposed to mashing our L buttons and the bots just messing up our races. So we're going to be going from Moo Moo Meadows all the way through N64 Rainbow Road. So I'm really excited to play this category again. And let's jump right into it. Would you like to give me a countdown, Ness?
Oh, a countdown.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Here we go.
Gio?
All right, TY. All right, so we're going to be starting with, like I said before, Moo Moo Meadows, probably one of the more easier retro tracks of the entire game, and probably like one of the most graphically pleasing, frankly. So you may notice that I'll be starting with 5 coins, because in 8 Deluxe, you can, if you start in a bottom spot, you will automatically start with more than, you'll start with coins essentially. And I believe like 11th and 12th, you just start with 5 coins, and while 3rd, you just start with 1. All right, so I get to say this because this is the first track where the world record in time trials is held by a baby character. So what you just saw me do right there was something called counter hopping / counter sliding. It not only allows me to correct my lines, but it also lets me to get my drifts out a little bit faster. So just like that, I'm already at 10 coins, and I'm going to do my best to get an SMT. That's okay. I don't like this cow cycle, so I'm going to snake around here. And that's actually the reason why I like playing lightweights, because they are slightly more technical than using the Waluigi weight class, which is the more easier and the much more faster thing to get into. So we're gonna ignore the fact that my trick did not come out there. Thanks, Nintendo. And
awesome.
Yeah, very awesome. And we're almost done with the first track already, so let's not hit a cow. Hello, Wario. Let's just pass you real quick. Was that Baby Rosa? That's Baby Rosa. Wow. All right. So
I've been seeing a little bit of discourse with who's the best baby character, and I'm still of the opinion that Lemmy Koopa is the best one, but go off, I guess.
I mean, canonically, Lemmy Koopa isn't necessarily a baby, but because he's so small, he kind of counts as a baby in the character selection. So if you haven't seen Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being ran before, you may notice that I wasn't doing anything called like fire hopping after like a boost or whatever. That's because Nintendo just patched it out from 8U, and so now it's just more focused on pretty much the driving aspect. So we're now coming up to I gotta make sure not to let the competitive come out in me, but for those who are familiar with competitive Mario Kart, this is one of the more tracks where you basically start from the back and just catch up. Even though in 200cc you can actually just run this for free, and I'll be doing something called a no item shortcut, or a NISC for short. And let's see if I can get it. Oh, that's a good one. Nice. So I got that one with doing a quick neutral hop, which boosts me over basically boosts me over wherever I'm hopping, and you just go fast just like that. And doing some, no, that's not a good miss, but that's okay. Missed that boost panel there too, but that's fine. Basically same strategy for the next couple of laps here, and thankfully the bots are not going to be able to screw me over because if this were with items, oh boy, the run would be a little bit more hectic. Okay, that's 1.5 out of 3. So now we're on to the final, and you may notice that some of the coins regenerate at the beginning of, well, actually, except for time trials, coins regenerate after a few seconds. And the reason why I go for coins in the first place is because it makes your vehicle go much faster than having 0 coins. So that's your quick tip to getting better at Mario Kart 8 in particular, because you just need coins. That's literally it. And we'll just bump that red tire for good luck anyway. And drift won't come out. That's cool. And we're done with RMC.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that feels really, really good when you play it fast and you play it right. But if you mess up, it's just, I feel like everything goes wrong.
Yeah. And you can actually get a UMT or Ultra Mini Turbo, the little purple thing, going on that tire with babies, but I just opted to go for the SMT since my line was just faster that way. All right, so now we're coming up to another baby track per se. We're going to do a little bit of snaking. So you may notice, and I get bumped by, I forget which character, I got bumped by a bot. That's not good. So what I wanted to do there was to get something called a glider strat, but because I got bumped and wasn't able to recover, I just opted to go for regular trip. I'll go for the other 3 laps. So now you might be wondering how I'm able to play lightweights. Well, I treat it the same way as being able to play as any other character in the game, because this game is relatively balanced, meaning that you can use any character and essentially get away with it. So, and also some of the strats that I do go for are probably what heavy characters would go for, because sometimes baby strats can be a little bit inconsistent. Because some of it is a lot of snaking, and some of it is also quite a bit of hopping as well, trying to find out where I need to start like snaking or driving or whatever. So, and Cheap Cheap is actually one of the more quote unquote disgusting strats, but it's okay if we just straight up go for regular strats here, because if you keep going for the hard strats and miss them, you just lose so much time. So every little bit matters so much in this game, at least. So we're on to the final lap of Cheap Cheap. Nice glider strat here. All right. So this next track we're coming up to is probably one of the other RNG type tracks in the game. All my homies. Nice crab moment. That totally has never happened to me before.
I love cycles, my favorite.
Yeah, me too. If I was slightly faster, I would have been able to not hit that crab, but it's okay. That front run music just came right on back anyway. We're chilling. All right, and that's Cheap Cheap.
Yeah, one thing that's very small about like babies that's really cool is like if you mess up or if you like get hit by an item or something, it's very easy to recover compared to like playing like the heaviest characters. Mm-hmm.
Because of their
you can just like start snaking like right away.
Yeah, and the fact that their acceleration is just slightly, it's just busted in my honest opinion. All right, now I did not see what cycle I got on Toad's Turnpike, but we're gonna hope and pray that I got a good one. So this one, basically the strat is just disco tie. And what I'll be doing here, actually now's a good time to explain the types of drifts that you can do. So what I did there was something called neutral drifting, where if I'm on a really long turn, if I don't hold on to the stick at all, I get I go around faster, but my drift will come out slower. However, you'll see very soon I'll be rotating my stick in a certain direction, like 45-degree angle or upright or up left, something called soft drifting, where my drift will come out faster, but I'll be going much tighter versus holding straight left or straight right, which is actually slower, fun fact. But if you soft drift at the very important turns, your drift will come out faster. And I think I got a really good cycle. So what we're gonna do, go over here and get myself a little trick, and just go around here and go around that little car real quick. Well, that little car, that big bus or whatever it is.
Yeah, this track is so scary, just like weaving past everything, especially with snaking.
Yeah, definitely. And like, there's this track, and then there's Ooh, that was close. There's this
Nothing
track.
bad happens.
There's this track, and there's Shroom Ridge, which, by the way, if you're looking to play more of this game, I highly recommend you purchase the booster course pass. There's going to be 48 more tracks coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe after like 5 years, which is really cool. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show them off around this time, but you know, I would, like I said, I would totally recommend just getting them, because it's really fun. Nice way to keep playing this game versus playing tracks like this. All right, so now we are done with the Shell Cup, and we're now moving on to my favorite cup of the entire game, starting off with a very fun baby track. You might remember this from Double Dash, which is Dry Desert.
It's so much more fun than it looks, because like usually like with like heavier characters, it feels kind of like a drag to play sometimes, but like this is just like so fun, just because there's so much snaking, there's so much like technical stuff going on all the time. It's super fun.
Yeah, and this right here, really awesome NISC. And unfortunately, in the competitive world, people don't really run this. It's so broken as a bagging trap, because there's actually an ultra shortcut before the starting line. But of course, we don't really need to go for it in both items and itemless runs. So all we gotta do is just essentially go around. And what I'm gonna do here is not get my double trick there, because what I was trying to do was go around that little pillar there, whatever it's called, and shake my controller to do something called motion tricking. It's just easier to get my trick out that way than just mashing my R button, since sometimes the R button can be not responsive. So yeah, there's actually a faster way of doing that NISC, but this one is the most consistent. And here, because we have 10 coins, I can just snake for free.
I saw someone in the chat ask about differences between Switch and Wii U. The biggest thing is that like fire hopping just doesn't exist in the Switch version, and also the game is a little bit more balanced, just kind of like everywhere all around, so babies are a lot more viable.
Right. And
Can't think of anything else though.
I was thinking of something else as well. Like I said, the reason why I'm doing like a lot of this hopping is to A, correct my lines, and B, get my drift style just a little bit quicker. That's still present in this game. Gliders are also relatively different in that in the Wii U version you don't really trick off of them because it's slower, but in 8 Deluxe it actually varies now. And also you can actually, I'm pretty sure it was present in 8 Wii U, but you can brake drift. And even though brake drifting is more recommended for 200cc, you can do it quite a bit in 150 for some turns, especially if you're trying to get your drifts out. All right, and that's dry.
Yeah, and it's really helpful, especially if you like mess up snaking and you're about to like hit a wall. It's definitely like saved my butt a lot. And it's very weird to go to games that doesn't have brake drifting. It's very weird.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thankfully, I don't think I need to do any kind of brake drifting here, unless I'm like really close to falling off the track, as you said, Ness. So, and now we're on to my favorite track of the entire game, and the reason why I pick this track every time I'm in first, whenever I play this game competitively. So, first, this NISC is broken. That was a pretty decent one. There's actually a faster way of exiting that NISC, where you do a little quick do a little bit of snaking, but that's actually a little bit inconsistent for me. And believe it or not, there's actually 2 more nisks that I could go for, but for me, it's just faster to just go for that one nisk and just start, you know, babying it out, you know? So I get to I love this track in particular because when I was younger and this track was first announced, man, I was so excited because I loved the Donut Plains track in Mario Kart DS. I just love playing the track in general, and then for them to like bring it back in Mario Kart 8, I was like, whoa, this is gonna be my track. And here we are now, let's see, 8 years later that Mario Kart 8 has been released in total. All right. So there's actually another way of doing that nisk where you just go above the water, but that's only if you're like heavies and your soft drifting isn't really that great. But you got to be careful if any Waluigi Wigglers are basically out for blood when it comes to their driving. So, and just like that, we're done with DP3. All right. So
yeah,
next,
DB3 is so hard to learn, but it's so satisfying.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the more technical running tracks in both 150 and 200. So people usually just play it from behind, essentially. I haven't really. Well, okay. I guess War Raceway is now a good time to talk about the competitive scene of Mario Kart. So there's Mario Kart Wii, and there's basically custom tracks, and then there's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If you want to keep playing Mario Kart, even like I guess like not with friends or to get better, there's it's a pretty big community where you can do a 6-on-6 battles. You can play. I don't recommend this honestly, but there's something called Lounge, and that's honestly how I was able to improve my item management as well as knowing which lines to take. And imagine playing Mario Kart competitively as opposed to with friends, because you know Mario Party is the one that destroys friendships, right? But like I said, there's quite a few people, and I'm pretty sure there'll be some in the chat who will know what I'm talking about when it comes to competitive Mario Kart. Like we all want to get better at Mario Kart in particular, because sometimes driving can be a little rough, and not knowing when to use our items. And not knowing how to do certain strats like this, that was actually a counter slide into a glider strat, which is really cool. And then there, I just get a UMT for free. I wish this track became babies, but in any case, I'm really thankful that getting into competitive Mario Kart has inspired me to do crazy things like this. Now, of course, I can play heavyweights, but not as well as I can with babies, because it's just what I'm mostly used to, and I can play just as well with babies as with any character, because it's just the nature and the playstyle of the game. So that was a pretty cool nisk, and also babies have access to certain strats that are much easier to do versus heavies. Like for example, there is a shortcut on Dragon Driftway which you can do with heavies, but since the world record in time trials is held with babies, you can literally get the nisk for free. As I like to say. All right, and that's Royal. All right, so we are almost done with the Banana Cup, and we can't have a Banana Cup without, you know, DK Jungle, right? All right, so this is one of the more fun 3DS tracks to run. I think the 3DS track selection in this game is honestly really good, with the exception of Toad Circuit, in my honest opinion, because it's part of the DLC, and I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't really do much with Toad Circuit, but it's nice to see it return, and also it's nice to play this track in particular. I kind of enjoyed it on the 3DS, and to see it, you know, updated for Switch, Wii U and Switch is kind of nice. So that
yeah,
right
I really
there,
like a lot of the 3DS tracks that they added, but unfortunately, yeah, just like Toad Circuit.
Yeah, just Toad Circuit. So that's I guess your first instance of ramp strats, question mark? I mean, you're not really going to be seeing ramp strats until we get to RWS, and I'm going to show off both ways of doing the ramp strats for that one, because the next track is basically slightly more technical than Donut Plains 3, in my honest opinion. And that right there is actually called a super bounce, where if you drift off a bouncing thing where you can trick, if you drift off of it and trick at the same time, you basically go farther than you would just, you know, tricking. Since airtime costs quite a bit of time in at least in 150. In 200, you do want a little bit of airtime for some strats, but not all. But for the most part, we kind of don't want airtime. So this is actually the easiest track to learn how to do the super bounce. So I wish I got an SMT there, but it is what it is. Get that trick there. Hopefully don't bump a Tiki. Yeah, we're chilling.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff high level in this game is just like hoping that like you in your deep inside your brain just like hold the drift button long enough to like barely like edge out getting like an SMT or a UMT instead of like just a regular like mini turbo.
Oh yeah. Man, see, the nice things with babies too is that where heavies would get an MT, babies could get like an SMT or a UMT. And MT chaining is actually pretty cool as well with babies. And like, I feel like we're still scratching the surface with how we can apply, you know, baby strats into competitive, because I'm one of the only people who really plays lightweights in competitive. Like, there's a few, but everyone just plays Waluigi Wiggler or Waluigi Bitty Buggy. And in case you're wondering, Bitty Buggy and Mr. Scooty have the exact same stats, but the drifting is just different, or the drifting style. All right, so this track, this is where I get to say that this is one of the slowest tracks for babies, because no matter how fast you go with babies on this track, it's still slow. So I'm going to show both ramp strats here. This is the one that I usually go for, but I completely messed it up. you may not notice, but how well you soft drift can actually determine how fast you go. So there, I actually did a little bit of an experimental snaking right there, and I guess it worked out.
Experimental strategies.
Yes,
guys, we're going faster than any human has ever seen before.
Exactly.
Trust me.
So that first turn right there, babies can get a UMT there for free, even though the world record actually goes for the UMT at that first turn. So I'm gonna go for my ramp strat. Yeah, where I get a UMT right there, and I just hop twice to correct my line, and I just zoom. Like, I know how to do both, but it's just easier for me to go for that one because I just get a UMT for free. And I believe right there that was also UMT. Imagine if I got another UMT there. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to do something called a low glider, right as you drift off the ramp, or right as you touch the glider ramp, just tap the R button again, and you automatically just go low. It's very important if there are some strats that require low glider. I'm just gonna do the first ramp strat. Nice. So, like, the nice thing about this track too is that if you want to practice soft drifting, this one is the way to go, because like this is just soft drifting to the max. So, and even though I can go for all these fast strats, I will still lose to heavyweights on this, because like babies are again the slowest characters in the game, and heavies are, well, actually the Waluigi weight class is good because really good speed, really good MT stat, weight stat as that as well, and it's just much easier to drive, or at least to get into, in my honest opinion. So now this is where I like to say this is called arthritis the track. So if my hands start hurting, yeah, because this is one of the big bad baby tracks. Where there's not only so much snaking, but I'm just spamming so much mini turbos. So
yeah, unfortunately, I accidentally practiced for this commentary position yesterday. I was playing Mario Kart with a friend, and I was like, obviously, you know, using Lemmy Koopa, my boy. And we were playing this one, and after I just like couldn't play. It felt so awful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like, and even coming from a baby main, I love this track, but I really hate playing it as baby sometimes because if I don't spam MTs, not only am I slow, but even when I do, my hands will just hurt. Oh man.
It's still very fun though. Don't get me wrong, it's still so fun.
Yeah, very. And the funny thing is, these next 3 tracks are all baby tracks, believe it or not, starting with this one. We have Sherbet Land, Music, and Yoshi Valley. All 3 of them, the world record is held by babies. And I believe Yoshi Valley is still held by Lemmy / Baby Rosa. So there's a slight difference between Baby Daisy, the Baby Daisy and Baby Peach versus Baby Rosa and Lemmy. And I believe the only difference is traction. Now, I played this game for quite a bit, and I don't really pay attention to the traction, but I want to say it makes a little bit of a difference in the drifting. So, and I guess that's why Baby Rosa is used for, at least Baby Rosa / Lemmy is used for like Yoshi Valley and Excite Bike Arena. I don't remember if Excite Bike Arena turned back into Baby Daisy, but I don't know. Just don't quote me on that one. All right, so next up, I get to talk about this too because I met my girlfriend through the Mario Kart community, and she loves running Music Park for first. And not only is this a really good track for all characters, it's pretty broken for babies. So good thing I've been actually practicing this track recently, so you get to see me do some very, very cool baby shots here.
Yeah, this is one of those things that one of the tracks I played yesterday, and just like it's so satisfying, just like snaking through it and just like doing a bunch of like the nisks and like the jumps and whatever. It's so fun.
Yeah, this is one of them. And then here comes another super bounce. Okay, no, that was a good one. Now that coin section there is really tough, but I did not mean to get that glare. That's okay. Just as long as you get that super bounce, you're saving time. And so there, you can actually delay your trick as long as you're in the air. You're able to just get that trick. There are some cases where you want to trick / mini turbo trick, but the only problem with this track is that it is a pace lock, mainly in the last section. So like sometimes either you have to go for an empty trick or you have to not delay a trick because just basically just how the pacing works. So here I'm gonna I can't. Can I go for it? I can go for the empty trick rip. Alright, so what I'm going to do is actually spam this trick here. Okay, I barely missed it. If I got that air time, that was not going to be good because that's going to mess up my line for the for that last turn there. So I would have 10 coins already, but that super bounce is really hard to align yourself to get the coins. So it's still really fast for babies, even then. I believe, yeah, that was a UMT. Shoutouts to the HC Rumble on the Pro Controller because that's your best way of telling like whether or not you get a good drift or not. Okay, I barely missed that. Whew, that was close.
You have the Rumble on?
Yep. It helps so much with like soft drifting and mini turbos. It's so useful.
I've actually never considered that. I just never play games with Rumble on.
That's fair. But yeah, now we're moving on to Yoshi Valley, and thankfully this is one of the more easier baby tracks to do, and hopefully I get to show off something called a double tricking. I mean, I won't be upset if I don't show it. Actually, I'll just show it off like all 3 levels, even though it's probably going to be slow. Even though the fast track is actually taking the bridge, but we need coins, first and foremost, and the bridge just doesn't have coins. So what we're going to do is go around here, and nice. Now, of course, I went wide just to show that off, but yeah, you can get 2 tricks off of that. And you just snake for free. Grab these coins over here. Now, funnily enough, getting the coins in 150 Yoshi Valley is less painful than 200 Yoshi Valley. Like, literally, believe it or not. I believe it's all in how you just drive that one section with 3 coins, but it doesn't really matter here because like all we got to do is just spam 2 MTs, and I'm gonna try and get an empty trick off of this. Nice. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, or we probably like alluded to this, but babies have the best mini turbo stat, meaning that they like say you're using Morton Bowser and you're using Baby Daisy. Like if you try using a mini turbo, it just doesn't last at all. Whereas if you use babies, you go so far just by spamming mini turbos. So that's probably like the most important difference. And I don't remember that being a thing in 8 Wii U, because like no one ever used babies in 8 Wii U, at least to my knowledge. Now quick discourse here. I like this version of Yoshi Valley over the 64 version because A, it's easier, and B, you can actually move on this track versus, oh, I don't know where I am, and like, you know how the N64 works sometimes, like you just, yeah, can't move on there sometimes. And also it looks really beautiful in 8 Deluxe, or at least in 8, in my honest opinion. And that is the Tanuki Cup. Or Leaf Cup.
Yeah, in 64, I actually didn't like this track very much, but it's so fun to do in Deluxe. It's so fun. Yeah.
It looks beautiful too. Now, unfortunately, that little ramp that you saw, it's not faster at all. It's just there for like giggles, I guess. All right, so, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we're playing a Grand Prix of baby tracks. Basically, these 4 tracks in a row are all babies. But TikTok is actually both heavies and babies. The only reason why it's babies in the first place, you'll probably see like very soon. Not really because of how you set up the NISC, but more on the lines of the fact that you can just spam MTs like right around here. So what I'm going to do is drift off of this to get something called a low trick. And thankfully, I did not bonk anything, so I should be in a good position to go for this first nick here. So right there, that's funny. I mentioned how I'm not going to do much brake drifting, but because I want to play it safe and be consistent, I tapped the B button a little bit there just to make sure I wouldn't fly off whenever I was charging that up. Now, of course, that's slow, but it ensures that you almost always get the NISC if you do that. So I don't know if I'll be in the right cycle to go for it lap 2, but you know what? Let's go for it. So empty trick here, just do some tricks, low trick there, low trick here, and do this quick cut here. Yeah, I'm not in the right line for it, so we'll just go ahead and keep going on. This last lap here is something I like to call guaranteed NISC, meaning that the hands are aligned in such way that I'm able to just get the NISC for free. So this is a pretty fun track to run. I used to not like this like when I first picked up Mario Kart 8 because like people picked this over Donut Plains 3 whenever I was playing in like regionals and worldwides and all. And so like as soon as I learned like the lines properly for it, I'm like, okay, this track is actually not that bad. We don't talk about that. I did say guaranteed NISC, right? I basically just shot off like at the completely wrong angle, which only lasts like 2 seconds, but it's okay. If you're on that really good pacing, you're able to just get that for free. So that totally has never happened to me before, right? Totally never in a marathon setting. But all right, so now we are on to Piranha Plant Slide. This was like my least favorite track next to Rosalina's Ice World in the 3DS, but this track is so much fun to drive in Mario Kart 8. Like, I don't understand why. All right, so we're gonna grab those 3 coins, and yes, that is actually the fast strat. Not many people go for it online because, you know, there's so many people drafting off each other, and you're just trying to make sure you don't fall off, like literally get bitten by the Piranha Plant or just falling off or whatever. Now this is where I get to show off a very weirdly set up glider strat. So what I'm going to do is soft drift over here, get the SMT and down glider a bit, and then just like that. It's actually faster than tricking off the regular glider. And I wouldn't really go for it online as well because, you know, there's something called a target shock, and if someone is really out for blood, they will. Well, we're gonna pretend that I tricked off of that just to make sure I didn't fall off there. getting target shocked or lightninged right there is not good at all. Like, not a good feeling. But it's safe to say that this track is really fun to drive, especially on inside drifting bikes for honestly some reason. But some of these turns, you can definitely see that if you're like used to Mario Kart Wii drifting or whatever, and you like to play an inside drifting bike, you definitely benefit off of some of these turns here. So get this Unity.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm like so bad at this track. I just like can't do it right ever. It's really challenging.
Definitely that. It was challenging for me at first, mainly because of, like, of the Goomba placements. But honestly, I don't even know how I figured out how to drive this track. Honestly, I feel like it was just one of the ones where it just really came natural. Probably that, and I played quite a bit of Mario Kart 7, so I was very familiar with the lines here. The nice thing about the 3DS tracks is that the lines didn't really change. Except with like you know 0G, you go upside down, blah blah blah. Yeah. All right. So now we are done with our PPS, which is called Piranha Plant Pipeway in PAL versions of the game, which is kind of cool. And so we have two more tracks. We have Grumble Volcano and we have N64 Rainbow Road. So this is where I get to drop my one of my favorite jokes that came from the community. So. I don't know how to explain this. So one day we were basically playing Mario Kart for one of my friend's birthdays, and they're like basically one of the best players. He's really funny. There's this track that he did not want to play, and he was like, if this, it's actually Twisted Mansion. If TM is picked, I will drop my Switch down the volcano. And funnily enough, not only TM was picked, then we played Grumble Volcano next, and he was like, oops, I dropped my Switch down the volcano. Need sub, brought next. It's just the funniest thing ever, because imagine dropping your Nintendo Switch down the volcano. So now I just abuse it, like literally every time. I don't want to do something, I'll be like, you know what, if this ever happens, I'm gonna drop my Switch down the volcano. And the funny thing is, my Switch likes to overheat now, so basically it gets a free trip down the volcano every time I let it overheat on accident. Oh man. But
just overheating is the funniest thing ever to me, honestly. Yeah,
and like, I've had this thing since release, and it's like, why does this thing feel the need to like overheat?
It's like the little engine that could for me. It's so funny.
Yeah. Now the good thing is I do have an external fan, which you know saved lives quite a bit, but yeah, sometimes it will fail me. There was actually one time where I was playing Lounge, and of course I was the host, and if the host disconnects, then the entire room crashes. You can probably guess where I'm going to go with this. So, we were coming close to the end of the race. We were playing DK Jungle, and my Switch decides to be very, very cute and overheat when I have the fan at a very high setting, and that caused the room to crash. Now, thankfully, no one decided to be a snitch and be like, oh, get him host banned because like his Switch overheated. He closed the room on purpose. No, they weren't like that. I could prove that my Switch was overheating too, because I do have the fan. I have many means of proving things as well. But anyway, that's Grumble Volcano, and we're coming up to the final track of the retro tracks. So, this has been a fun run. Then again, this is one of the other slower tracks for babies. And I used to not like this, but online, it's really good if you're not in the bottom spot. And fun fact, if you're playing 48 tracks, you actually want to start with this track too, because you basically just start with 5 coins for free, and you just straight up zoom. I can't remember how much coins increases your overall speed, but this is one of the tracks where you want to, oh my gosh, where you want to start with 5 coins. I love how you said don't mess up, Ness, and I nearly fell off, and I somehow saved that.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna fall off. That was terrifying. Don't do that again.
No promises, because I'm going to be doing some weird drifting coming up soon. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to a certain time trialer by the name of Vincent, who pushed this track down to a sub, I believe it was sub 120. They have a currently they have like a can't remember what time it was, like 119 or something. It's really freaking good. I highly recommend you all like watch MK8DX Records on YouTube. They like some of these strats, some of these baby strats, and some of the regular strats in general. They're really cool to watch. Like there's some serious rail grinding now. Of course, I play Monkey Ball, right? And I'm used to going on wires, but Mario Kart 8 wires, they are really satisfying to watch. And time is coming up when I cross the line here. And time.
GG.
GG's.
Woo! What a run. What a run. Oh no, Baby Daisy MVP and then Daisy LVP. No, man, that's unfortunate.
It's really funny.
It's not like I paid attention to the bots anyway, but in any case, that is the retro tracks of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I wish I had more time to show off the a little bit of the DLC tracks that you can possibly that they can get. But I guess now, since this is my final run of the event, let's just go to the results real quick. I'd like to give a first and foremost thank you, Ness, for couching. This is totally not the first time you've done co-cons with me of like literally anything. I think we're like definitely a good combination.
Yeah.
Also, shout outs to the Mario Kart community for not only promoting this run, but also the event in general, because like we still need to show off our excellence. Black speedrunning is something that still needs to be shown, and we are still fighting to be well known. And some people, and I've said this last time, if some of you in the chat don't agree with me, then I don't know why you're here. I mean, today is a day that we rejoice, you know, being free from the hell that we have suffered, and it's just special to all of us in general, and we all need to just keep on rejoicing that. So of course, shout outs to my own community for coming out and supporting my run, and of course everyone's endeavors in general, and of course to my girlfriend who's probably watching the stream. I love you, Luna. And with that, I believe that's it. Oh, before I must plug in my own stuff, obviously. If you want to follow more of my content and what I do, feel free to give me a follow on twitch.tv/PeaceSMB. It stands for Super Monkey Ball, not Super Mario Bros, not the other SMB. And also give Ness follow. Give Ness a follow, because they do quite a few things as well, and they're also a Monkey Ball runner. So I mean.
Yeah, believe it or not.
but believe it or not, it's pain for both of us, so that's just why we play other games. But yeah, just I don't know what you're doing. Just follow it, like literally just follow Black Speedrunners as you can. Yeah. And also give me a follow on twitter.com/PeaceSMB. I don't know why I said twitter.com, but in any case, I believe that is it for me. If I'm missing anything important, I think I'm honestly good.
Well, good. Thank you very much for the awesome performance, and as always, the very moving words from One Piece. And again, shout outs to Ness _ for the playthrough and the commentary for their respective runs as well. And like they were saying, still got a whole bunch more GDQ Juneteenth coming up. You don't want to miss it, but you definitely want to get into that self-care, stand up and stretch, grab some water, small snack before you come on back. Don't worry, we got way more runs coming at you for this Juneteenth celebration. Up next is Drakengard 3, so we'll be seeing you then after this.